lost 18 pounds in the past few months. No, I did not use Ozempic. I did not use anything crazy. I just found out the best doctor I could ever find out, which is a kind of holistic alternative medicine type of doctor. We've been treating insulin resistance, leaky gut, Hashimoto's, PCOS, and a bunch of other things that we saw that I had. Even though I could go to the conventional medicine situation, I've tried since I was 18 and now I'm 29. So it's been long 10-11 years that I never had results the way I had it with this. I ended up posting a video on TikTok showing how I look different and my life looked different. I'm so much better now, and people ask me, actually not people, one girl ask me the step-by-step how exactly did I do that. While I do my makeup with my brand new case, because I'm obsessed with brow, as you guys can see, I'm going to share with you guys why I do my makeup. How the heck did that happen? What exactly did I do? Honestly, 90% of the stuff you can find on Amazon. It's pretty much easy. A lot of the stuff and a lot of the tips and things that I did, you can do it there. The only two things that we did that you will need a doctor for is hormone therapy and thyroid medication, because I need it. But I still believe that just those lifestyle changes would give you a big result. I never did these. I never used these because I look ugly as heck. Look at that. I look like a child. I was diagnosed with PCOS, bowel syndrome, and also endometriosis by my, what I called regular doctors. I had medications for bowel syndrome. For the PCOS, I was obviously on birth control. I can tell you that for like a year or two, I lost weight. I was able to have my skin cleared, but it would always get to a point a few months in that I would start having the symptoms back again. So we would just increase the dosage. And it got to a point where nothing was working. I was starting to have reactions. It was never like 100%. I decided to jump out of birth control by myself, which is crazy because you will have so many reactions when you get off birth control, but this is what I did. Eventually, my mom found out this Brazilian doctor, because I'm Brazilian. I live in the US, but I'm Brazilian. So she found out this Brazilian doctor. He treated a lot of patients with the same symptoms that I did, and all of them had Hashimoto's. According to the symptoms that I have, I was like, you probably have some thyroid issues and you need to check your hormone levels. I did. I went to this first doctor, didn't really hit it off with him, even though the treatment was kind of okay. Then I went to this other doctor, the same area, alternative medicine type of doctors. And he told me, Val, they've been treating your symptoms. You just have to go straight to the point. And we found out that I had a lack of acid on my stomach. The reason why you're bloated, the reason why you have a reflux is because you don't have enough acid to digest your food. So it sits in your stomach too much, and then you have a reflux. So in the end, your problem is not excess of acid. It's actually not enough acid. The first thing that we found out is that I had leaky gut and I have low acid on my stomach. We had to fix that before I start taking any medications, any type of supplement, because if my stomach cannot absorb anything and it's not working properly, it doesn't matter how much I eat or how much I take, whatever changes I do, it won't be really effective. You prescribe me a supplement that you can easily find on Amazon. But that supplement you have to be careful with because you have to adjust your dosage pretty often. We just worked on getting enough acid on my stomach and doing a cleanse. And I know a lot of people don't believe in cleanse, and no, it's not a juice cleanse, it's an actual professional cleanse that you can also buy without a prescription, but it's more of like a professional cleanse. So we did a bunch of 2 cleanses, one for Parasite, the other one for heavy metals. After we did that, we started also with my hormone therapy because my doctor did a giant checkup on my hormones, and he said, well, babe, the reason why you have PCOS is because you don't have enough progesterone in your body. So my progesterone was low in compared to my estrogen, and my testosterone was really high for someone who doesn't go to the gym and doesn't work out. It was within the normal range, but he told me you have enough testosterone in your body for someone who would work out every day. If you work out every day, if you're a gym girl, I would say that you have a pretty good amount of testosterone in your body. But the problem is you don't. After that, we did the hormone therapy, which was progesterone. We started adjusting the levels until we got to the point where we are right now, that we found my perfect amount. Honestly, 1 month in hormone therapy, my cramps were already lower. My cycle has been like clockwork. I know the day that I'm gonna have my period. It took 6 months for me to see 100% of difference, but since the first one, I saw a lot of difference. Another thing that we did was to check my thyroid. We found out that I had Hashimoto's. I did had to take thyroid medication. That's why this part of the treatment, I was definitely happy to have a doctor to accompany me. It was the best thing that ever happened. We started my treatment probably a year ago, less than a year ago, and less than a year after my treatment, I'm already out of the medication. Another thing that we also did besides the thyroid medication was to do a replacement with my vitamins. Iron was on my feet. I have really low iron, low ferritin, because obviously my stomach was not even able to absorb those vitamins since I was dealing with leaky gut. So all of my vitamins were on the floor. I was really weak. My hair was falling, my nails were breaking, and I was really tired all the time. I was really sleepy all the time. I was kind of depressed all the time. So we had to give an upgrade to my vitamins. I'm talking about complex B, B12, vitamin C, vitamin D, especially iron, ferritin. So I did vitamins infusions, and I got some injectables too to help in the beginning, but now I do everything like drops, under my tongue. I had to support my thyroid through the vitamins. You need selenium, you need copper, you need magnesium. So there was a lot of things that I was taking with the thyroid medication and everything else to support my thyroid. So it got to the point that less than a year later, I'm off medications because my thyroid now has enough to produce whatever it needs by itself. That's also important that he told me these medications are not going to be for life. The reason why my approach is different and this type of medicine is different than alternative medicine is because we approach and use medications temporarily, and our goal is to heal you and go exactly to the roots. It's not for you to be dependent on thyroid medication. I was taking supplements, majority of them, it was drops and a few capsules. It was a big list. In the beginning, I was actually scared. Honestly, 6 months into the treatment, I was a brand new person. We also find out that the reason why I was not losing weight, it was not only thyroid, it was because I had insulin resistance. Insulin resistance you can treat with medication, but I wanted to do a natural approach where it would take longer for me to see the results, but it would be for life. Basically, for my insulin resistance was exercise, diet, and lifestyle changes. I did not take anything for my insulin resistance. I had to go in a very high protein, high fat, high fiber, low carb diet. My doctor told me, I don't want you to stop eating carbs. You just need to eat whole foods and you change the order that you eat. For me, it was crazy because nobody have ever explained this to me. At first, I started a very light intermittent fasting. I stopped eating processed food, which is something that I already was not really a fan of. Basically, my routine looks like this. I wake up, I drink a hot tea to help with my bowel movements, any type of hot tea or even lemon with water. I take 1 spoon of coconut oil because it really helps, because I was also very constipated and I was dealing with a lot of dryness. So the coconut oil is also good because it's a good fat and healthy fat. 30 drops of propolis extract in the morning in the water. So I had a whole routine before I even ate anything. After that part of my routine was done, I was skipping to breakfast. Usually I would break my fasting at like 9 or 10 in the morning. I wouldn't wait too much for me to break my fasting. If not, I would have hypoglycemia issues. The secret for me was to have dinner very early so I could break my fast early too. I would break my fast always with a protein and a fat. That's it. Eggs, bacon, sausages, any type of meat, avocado, olive oil. My breakfast, it is until this day just protein and fat. Helps with the hypoglycemia, helps with insulin resistance, and you have a really good, your body will drop the insulin really slow, because that's the problem with insulin resistance, is that insulin goes up and down really quick. So you have to eat things that make your body go up and down in your insulin really slow. For lunch, I have fibers, protein, and fat. I can eat any type of protein. I can eat any type of fat. The carbs that I'm restricted to are veggies that have low glycemic index, and fruits too. So everything that is on the lower side of glycemic index, this is what I eat. And obviously, when you're eating high protein, you have to eat a lot of fiber. My routine is fats and protein in the morning, lunch, a lot of protein, fats, a little bit of fiber and carbs, and then on dinner I can have the biggest amount of carbs, because even though I was always taught that you cannot eat sugar and carbs at night, when you have insulin resistance and you're dealing with hypoglycemia, your body is more tolerant to carbs at night. So my dinner had a little bit of a bigger portion of veggies and fruits compared to maybe lunch. Sometimes for lunch I would just eat green leaves and maybe chia seeds or pumpkin a little bit, but usually I would eat my carbs at night. And even my sweets, I can only eat 70% chocolate or up. What I can do is eat chocolate at night. Usually after dinner I would take a little tablet of dark chocolate if I was really like craving some sugar, because that's another thing that I had to cut out of my life was sugar. Because of the insulin resistance, you will feel you eat sugar or anything high carb, I would feel dizzy, weak, and my insulin would go up and down really bad. The symptoms were absolutely horrible. So my doctor told me for me to cut everything, sugar, even certain fruits. Up to 1 o'clock I don't eat any sugar, I don't eat any carbs. Usually if I have carbs or any fruits in the morning, I would have these symptoms because I'm still recovering from insulin resistance. I'm still in the process to get there. Yes, I've lost 18 pounds and my metabolism is way better now, but I'm not fully recovered. I'm still in remission for insulin resistance and Hashimoto's. I have to be very, very careful with what I eat and the time that I eat. And honestly, that's what makes the difference for me. I was already eating healthy, high protein, high fiber, low carb, and all of that, but I still had a lot of sugar in my diet. I still had gluten and dairy, which is something that I had to cut it off. And I also was not eating in the right order. I was eating my carbs in the morning and then not eating anything at night. And my doctor told me, you're doing wrong. You only tolerate carbs at night, because your insulin has been going up and down the whole day. So I had to relearn a lot of things about my health. If I could maybe sum up, I also do this when I have like little pimples and spots that I don't like it, put like a fake little freckle in there. Honestly, if I could sum up everything that I did so far, was treating my gut first and foremost. So we did a Parasite cleanse, we did also a heavy metal cleanse. I started taking propolis extract every day, 30 drops in the water every morning, empty stomach. I also was taking probiotics, which helps. I take the 1 spoon of coconut oil every morning. It helps with insulin resistance. It also helps your intestines to work a little bit better, especially if you suffer from constipation like I did. Another thing that my doctor found out, that I was severely dehydrated. My body was severely dehydrated because I was not taking minerals enough. It's called real salt. I put a pinch in my water. I'm gonna put the list of everything below, and I'm also gonna put my whole routine written below so you guys can see it. And after doing a few blood tests, we found out that I'm not dehydrated anymore. The water with salt does work. You don't taste the salt, but it's there and it helps your body to hydrate. For the diet change, high protein, high fat in the morning, high protein, high fat fibers for lunch, and then the carbs for afternoon, night, healthy carbs, low glycemic index carbs. I did intermittent fasting, so I usually stop eating dinner at 5 or 6, and then around 10 a.m. I go back again or eating. My fasting usually goes from 16 to 18 hours every day, and then once a week or every 2 weeks I do a 24-hour if I can. I also lift and do low impact workouts. When you're dealing with insulin resistance, Hashimoto's, and all of that, it's important, especially if you're overweight, to do low impact workouts. So I do incline walks, I lift weights. We had the hormone therapy and thyroid medication, which I absolutely love. I live in Mass and I know 2 clinics here who does that. I only found out after. I do with my Brazilian doctor. He did everything online. It was amazing. But there is 2 clinics here in Mass that they do hormone therapy. I'm gonna put their information below. My mom went there once and I'm telling my friends to go there because, to do with the Brazilian doctor can be complicated, especially if you speak English or, the medications come from Brazil, it can take a while. I think that was it. I'm still on the journey to lose more weight. Honestly, I feel better and I look better than I was in the beginning, 100%. If you can't afford a doctor right now or you cannot seek a doctor, apart from the hormone therapy and the thyroid medication, everything else, if you apply to your life, it will work. Alternative medicine changed my life. Every single thing that I deal with, my doctor has a supplement or a plant or a tea or something to give it to me. I don't have PCOS anymore. Hashimoto's, insulin resistance is in remission. I don't have to worry about gut health. My body right now is adjusted. That route works out. I have a pretty long routine every day of supplements and water, coconut oil, vitamins. They do work. I know it was a kind of like all over the place video. I never shoot videos like this, especially getting ready and talking at the same time. But I hope you guys liked it. I'm gonna try to sum up everything that I said in the description. If you have any questions, I can do a more detailed video with you guys. This is my basically no make makeup. See you next time.